Sikole ngambulo luku. With whatever we do. Jioni safu nola. With whatever we do. Hale yidemu new school. Nyepamne nekudlukula. Nyepangi raga na nyepamne nekudlukula. Ibuloke nongoto ni beti sola. Ibuloke dato ni betoto.
Bigi Congo.
Lamin.
Na?
Lamin te jibe norin te nyame Lamin.
Kabona wulo kono.
Wulo kono nyinta mo Lamin.
Pabilenki.
Muna ngata afongole.
Haina.
Ngata. Ngotole. Fabrama.
Mingi. Baba nyola.
No ngotole Fabrama.
Na mu jumara kan kuma diten.
Fabrama.
Jumara mu.
Ndele bare muso.
Nunda mbara. Jamani mbere.
Lindo ko.
Jamani.
Bari ngoto man kontande.
Bari jamani fana na ramudu wa kontan.
Ngoto minaka ngalamin je fon filitala. Lamin jibe nori nyala.
Lamin ila siran sama ne benki. Yala so tol sayni no ko mo lokko momo.
Ngoto.
Nam.
Itedinte yalo ne Lamin hakilo diata bake karambu ngoto. Anu santeng ministry ko di ngole si suko na amanke ko do holiday
si bitun
bagona de
ala ni ko kede namo balo
ala na ko na karta bulo be dam ala ni je
ngodo
nam
ngoto mon kontan feren
jamani mu ne keda
ifike Lamin ki wulo ko no nyinta mon ko do fete malo Lamin nyande sila la be la moy kala karango
jamani karamol be soron ne ko fasita wulo ko nako
baba
karambu won ma soron ni ko karambu won soron da amanke ko holiday lem ngodo dindi ko nyanta sila la ala karango la moy yamen kamen fue man kontan anda mande
alla nyin kombo courant adanda la kombo len do la jankara mol soron do kamen courant ma ra do la kombo e ko ndol fanena kara mol soron je kara mol soron Lamin ada lo nyino la man tara fe na sokon ala mu nekela
Lamin ite fete malon ko lesinol be ke kar radio to
nga fine
e ko nyadi mo Lamin
nga fine
ya mu na fonye
bi kabin mina kan tambita nteri maning Fatu tambite la sukol ala diningol bebe siri be la moyka
faru dan so am fana tambita jele ni subala la ngaje diningol be jet talanta nen kili waro e be seri jelet
sa Lamin farante ku kili ko keno la ba Lamin bita ka wulo ko no nyinta mo Lamin
amandara fenela
ite dine ko di man si yakaru la sino la moy radio to e balon na
mu ne ka ke afende ba nyaara ni alon
telentel jikot
afende ba mu ne be ke
ite balon tel be jikritel ni man karambe ku kele yaje nata karana mbasa mala ya itarije
par ñarande kombo courant ho findira kombo ide na rajede ni sonka bay ko Lamin manyata la wulo ko aru karam wolbe so da fa membe
ko to wole nati bawo ngalle ni Lamin kuntala kombo courant o ka fa me kombo courant asototal wala kinay ko e sisu kono bari ni ko e sisu kono be karangol dike la radio lin telel to hani tele masoto to nyaay man tele soto la bongo bar radio be bulen koto batiri sanga ay si ay alamo
sa do kala nyaadi
ko ta o bulaji
ado kala nyaadi
kamun ke nyaadi
radio abe wala moy la be mona falaje
ibe la karandirol kala jele
ti talle be radio ko men ka karande
ile subject ro baby jele baby jele
wala nanga coco moy fa dan so wolya ngombe tambi kana ngadi ni wolje be ikadum bungo de ko kada ma
asototal de
Lamin mala be karawala de
bari
laftalal ideal on ko inde every year second wala fourth
muna ni ko de ko folle sinila mba ndele sinilo ne ba
mbasa mba foke en koto wole fango yen wulindi yalo famo keta bat yin fana bulata ko ko me yen nati jambi Lamin nyanta karana ntel be jiko be nyineka ya bulay kara wulo kana ta kilar ya bambalo yo be bulaje koto dinni ngoy si ayala le sino la moy radio
wada ka munda karam mo man soro Lamin nyanta kara si so na radio
la sila le ayala le sino
dal ko korno ko smolo
kilar ya
be ngala ko momo sa mi do ni ko no kera
mengi bruzo
ndebe ko do la ba rosa no radio ba no bari woro radio ni abe jele ba do ngamra do man dembe buljan dala nyara nyar wofra bu ko fendi mo la Lamin tayra ba rosa
bara te ku folo ajibe nori nya labi tamete ku
teku
bari ko do famo ke
imagine nani nyambol si zol le keje kisigi man si zol no le kafun ka nyoma bari nyambu kilo ni manya na kafinde ni nambe ko zol la ga
ngalle limbeta de be nyambo do dilanna
nyara ni ko ridin fennat nyara nata
bari famo ke da
ngata bungono tammi bungono nyara ngando ko le ko ke baru nganda ni pelo landi jak
iyo awa betar la
bungono bismillah bisu diara
pendulala yefungo tanka sina dolu tanka korota korota
Hello viewers and wonderful listeners out there. Welcome to another lesson for the senior secondary school category. Remember, it's your teacher, Mr. Jame. The last time we solved a particular question together, and due to time we could not complete. Now today we are going to take it from where we stopped to complete the rest of the question. I will quickly draw the diagram again on the board, then we pick it up from there. The diagram was in this form. Distance PR was 32 kilometers. And the bearing was 15 degrees, which is said to be alternate to this one, 15. And we also have the bearing of Q from P is 150, and the distance apart is 24 kilometers. I want to estimate that to be down Q, and the distance apart is 24 kilometers, and the bearing is 150. So the angle here, if you subtract 180 minus 150, we got 30, if you can remember. So we decided to join this point. So we say this side was P, and we calculated and got 22.67 kilometers. So this was the diagram where this angle was 45 degrees. So remember, we calculated using the cosine to get this distance PR, RQ or QR. Okay, so today we are going to complete the question by finding the bearing of R from Q. R from Q, meaning we have to go to Q to locate R. That's going to be the bearing. How are we going to calculate this? So it means to do that, we have to make sure that we find this angle here. I will name it theta. Now, if you know that if this angle is 30, this is going to be 60, because 60 plus 90 will give 60 plus 30 will give you 90. This angle and this angle are said to be alternate. Now, if this angle is 60, this one also here will be 60 because they are said to be alternate. Remember, the full angle here is not known. We represent it as theta. And our target is to know this bearing here. That is the line connecting Q and R. Can we do that? So here we are going to use the sine rule. Remember, you learned the sine rule in your previous lesson. The sine rule here, we are going to choose a pair of what? Angle on each side. So the two I am going to take, I'll use P and the angle at P, and then Q and the angle at Q, to help us know the angle theta. So it's going to be P over sine P equals to Q over sine Q, where the small letters represent the sides and the capital letters represent the angles. Side P is given as 22.67. All over the angle at P is 45 degrees equals to side Q is given as 32. All over the angle at Q is not known. We put sine Q. To work ahead, you have to cross multiply. Now, if you cross multiply, you will have 22.67 times sine Q will give us 22.67 sine Q, which is equals to 32 times sine 45 will give us 32 sine 45. Our target is we want to know the angle at Q. So we are going to divide both sides by 22.67. So because we want to know the value of sine Q, we are going to divide both sides by 22.67. So we cancel this. You'll be left with sine Q equals to 0. If you punch the whole of this, will give us 0.9981. So you have to press 32 times sine 45, all divided by 22.67. That will give us 0.9981. Let's complete it here. So we have to take sine inverse of 0.9981. Angle Q will be equals to sine inverse of 0.9981. What is sine inverse of 0.9981? If you point that from your calculator, you will have 86.467. You are asked to give your answer correct to the nearest degree. Correct to the nearest degree. So it means we have to check whether we can round up or round down. If you check this number correct to the nearest degree, let me don't round up now because we have not completed the work yet. So in this case, this is going to give us Q equals to, let me give one decimal place, and that will give you 86.5. So that when we do the final subtraction here, we can now round up to the nearest degree to give the final answer. So the whole angle here is 86.5. But is that the answer to the question? The bearing of R from Q? No. We want to know the number that's supposed to be here. Which number do you think is supposed to be here? It can be known easily. And how do you know that? To know that number, you are going to subtract, because we need to know this small angle here to help us get the bearing of R from Q. So if you subtract 86.5 minus 60 to get this angle here, what is 86.5 minus 60? That will give us 26.5. So if this small angle is known as 26.5, and remember, this is point Q. To know the bearing of R from Q, remember I said you measure from the north of Q clockwise to the line connecting Q and R. So if you look at that measurement, that's going to give us, we see, therefore, the bearing of R from Q will be equals to 270 degrees minus 26.5. Now, what is 270 minus 26.5? You are going to have 243.5. Remember, the question says you give the answer to the nearest degree. So we are going to check again whether we can round up here or round down. So here we can round up, and that's going to give us, if you add 1 to 3, the answer becomes 244 degrees. So this takes us to the end of the assignment. Good. Now we move to the next question. Line AB equals to 8 kilometers. Line BC equals to 13 kilometers. The bearing of A from B is 310 degrees. And the bearing of B from C is 230 degrees. Calculate correct to three significant figures. Roman 1, the distance AC. Roman 2, the bearing of A from C. Roman 3, how far east of B C is. Line AB equals to 8 kilometers. Line BC equals to 13 kilometers. The bearing of A from B is 310 degrees. And the bearing of B from C is 230 degrees. Calculate correct your three significant figures. Roman 1, the distance AC. Roman 2, the bearing of A from C. And Roman 3, how far east of B C is. Now, we are going to sketch the diagram together. Like I said, it's always important to draw a very correct diagram so that it can help you to get the answer. The two angles given in our bearing here is 310 and 230. 310 is in the fourth quadrant and 230 is in the third quadrant. And the question is, line AB equals to 8 kilometers, line BC equals to 13 kilometers. The bearing of A from B is 310. So it means we have to stand at B to locate A. Also, we are told that the bearing of B from C is 230 degrees. We also stand at B to locate, we stand at C to locate what? B. Either ways you take it, you can start from the bearing of B from C, then end with the bearing of A from B. What is more important is let the sketch be correct to get the triangle so that you can solve to get the result. Now, if I want to start with the bearing of B from C, which is 230, and like I said, if you look at the four cardinal points, 230 will be somewhere around here. And again, if you look at 310, from the same cardinal point, it's going to be somewhere around there. Very, very important. So if you know that this is where you are going to get the lines, the next thing is how do you fix those letters to get your triangle correct? Can we start together? I said B from C is 230. I want to locate it somewhere around here. I choose this town to be C because it's B from C. And the bearing of B from C is 230. I locate this as town B. The bearing is 230. And the distance apart, we are told that line BC is equals to 13 kilometers. Again, from the previous part of the sentence, that is the beginning, you are told that the bearing of A from B is 310. A from B. It means we have to go to B to locate A. And the distance A and B is giving us what? 8 kilometers. I want to estimate it somewhere around here. So the bearing is 300 and from the north here, we have 310. So now we are going to connect to get our triangle, and this is town A. So the distance apart is 8 kilometers. So we can fix in the numbers to complete the diagram. If the movement from this point here to this line is 230, and we know that this is 180, so we are going to subtract 230 minus 180. That will give us 50 degrees. If this angle is 50, this one also must be what? 50. Why is this angle also equals to 50? The reason is these two angles are said to be alternate. Again, we measure the bearing here, that is A from B, and we said it's 310. If we subtract 310 from 360, we are going to get another 50 here. So if you add the sum of these two angles here, will give us 100 degrees. So this is exactly how you draw the diagram to get your answers. So since we have got the diagram, the first question is find the distance AC. That's Roman 1. The distance AC is going to be this line. I don't know. I will label this side as small b. So using the cosine rule, we are told that b square equals to, we have 13 square plus 8 squared minus 2 times 13 times 8 cos 100 degrees. So now that we substituted in the values after knowing the dimension, we can tell b square equals to 13 square is 169 plus 8 squared is 64 minus 2 times 13 times 8. 2 times 13 is 26. 26 times 8 will give you 208 cos 100. Now we are going to add 169 plus 64. That will give us 233. If you add 169 plus 64 will give us 233. Now we move to the other side. We have minus 208 cos 100. Can we find the value of 208 cos 100? Or if you want, you can press the value of cos 100 and then multiply. But 208 cos 100 will give us negative 36.12 in bracket. That is, if you punch the whole of this from your calculator, leaving the negative sign, you will still have another negative sign in the bracket. So these two negative signs are said to what? Multiply, and the sign will change to positive. So that will give us b square equals to 233 plus 36.12. What is 233 plus 36.12? We can see b square equals to 269.12. Our target is to know the value of b. In doing so, you have to take the square root of both sides, where the square will cancel the root. We can see b equals to 16.405 kilometers. Are we asked to give the answer correct to 3 significant figures? Yes, we are asked to give the answer correct to 3 significant figures. Therefore, B equals to 16.4 kilometers. That's going to be the answer to B. And that answer question Roman 1. Now, in question Roman 2, you are asked to find the bearing of A from C. The bearing of A from C. Now, to find the bearing of A from C, we are going to C here and locate A. That's going to be the bearing. Those viewing can see the line with the green chalk. So in this case, we need to find this angle. When we know that angle, we can know the bearing of A from C right away. So in doing so, we have to use the sine rule again. And using the sine rule, I want to use side B over the angle at B and side C all over the angle at C. So that will give us B over sine B, that is Roman 2 we are solving, is equals to C over sine C. Side B is known as 16.4 all over the angle at B is sine 100 equals to side C is known as 8 all over the angle at C is not known. That's exactly what we are calculating. Now, to get this answer, we simply cross multiply this way. In cross multiplying, if you multiply 16.4 times sine C, will give you 16.4 sine C equals to 8 times sine 100 will give you 8 sine 100 degrees. To know the value of sine C, obviously we divide both sides by 16.4. We divide here by 16.4. 16.4 can cancel 16.4. Sine C equals to, if you press the whole lot from your calculator, you will have 0.8404. That's exactly what you will have. So since this is the number you will have, we are going to find the inverse of 0.4804. So angle C will be equals to sine inverse of 0.4804. Now what I want us to do is, we are going to press the whole of this thing together. Press sine inverse of 0.4804, and that will give us angle C equals to 28.712 degrees. Remember, you are asked to give your answer correct to 3 significant figures. Therefore, C will be equals to 28.7 degrees as required. So this angle is 28.7. To get the final answer, we can say that the bearing of A from C equals to, if you move from the north clockwise to the south, the measurement, remember, is 180. We said 50 is alternate to this angle here, so they are said to be equal. We say plus 50. Then the angle that we calculated together is 28.7. So let's add these things together again. 180 degrees plus 50 degrees plus 28.7 degrees. Again, add 180 degrees plus 50 degrees plus 28.7 degrees. That will give us 258.7 degrees. Is that the answer? No. You are asked to give the answer correct to 3 significant figures. Our first significant figure is 2. 5 is the second significant figure. 8 is the third significant figure. And we have a decimal point. So to know the answer, we are going to round up. And when you round up this, you will have 259 degrees as your final answer. But is that the solution to the whole question? The answer is no. We have one more question. And what is that question? The question is, how far east of B C is? I know some of you might be wondering what type of question we're solving, but nonetheless it's a past question, so we are expecting you to follow suit. So we are going to complete that part here. Just be patient and then follow the steps as we work together. We are asked how far east of B C is. Let's go back to the diagram again. From the diagram, we have a triangle. And the last question is giving us an idea about connecting B and C. So how far east of B? Where do we have the east of B? The east of B is somewhere around here. So how far east of B is, we have to move from B towards what? The east. So in doing so, we can use our pencils or pen, I'm using a chalk, to make an extension. As you can see there. Also, if you look at this line at C, the vertical line, the north and south, is said to be what? Parallel to the north and south in point B. So also we can make the same extension from that point where these two lines are said to meet. And where they meet is what? 90 degrees. So with this, I think we can calculate to get the final result. So what are you going to do? If this angle is 50, we can tell that this angle is also what? 40. So what are you calculating here? I will label this point as D. I want us to know the distance between B and D, and that will help us to know how far east of BC is. Can we label that side as X kilometers? Now, since this is the case, what are you going to do? I said we complete the work here. So we are going to write angle is known, one side is given, and this side is not known. Now we are going to use the trig ratio. And which trig ratio are we going to use? There is the 90 degrees, and the side opposite the 90 degrees is 13 kilometers, which is our hypotenuse. The angle is here. The side facing the angle is the opposite, but we are not interested in the opposite. So we have to use the adjacent and the hypotenuse. So we use cos. So we can say this is Roman 3. Cos 40 equals to the adjacent is x. All over the hypotenuse is 13. If you cross multiply, x times 1 is x equals to 13 times cos 40. X equals to can we take our calculators and press 13 times cos 40? So 13 times cos 40 will give us 9.9586. You are asked to give your answer correct to 3 significant figures. Our first significant figure is 9, our second significant figure is 9, and our third is 5. So we are going to round up, and x will be equals to 9.96 kilometers. So this brings us to the end of the question, and what I will do is I will stop here for today's lesson. Until I come your way in our next class, thank you all for viewing and listening. Bye-bye.